Hello everybody, hope you're doing fantastically well. It is Connor here, and yes, we are back with another One Leeds episode. Leeds United have beaten Cardiff City by 5-2 in an absolutely emphatic victory at Ellen Road. Willie Gnonto, the star of the show, quickly becoming the Rafinha replacement, where it seemingly is every sort of ember of play that Leeds United produce in the match sort of goes through Willie. We saw it against Villa, we saw it again tonight, and we had that Rafinha thing from last year, didn't we, where just everything went through Rafa and he was the chance creator, and it feels at the minute that everything is going through Willie Gnonto. Pure class for the first goal, pure class for his third goal as well. Could have had 6 or 7 on the night. Rodrigo, very impressive in the first half, and fair play to Patrick Bamford coming on in the second half. 2 excellent finishes from the man returning. Let's hope now we can see consistent spells from Patrick Bamford, and he can be those two things that I always call out Patrick Bamford for not being: dependable and reliable. And if we have dependability and reliability, fantastic. We can rely on Patrick Bamford for at least or the remainder of the season. Apologies, everyone. Yeah, it was easy up until that point. I thought Leeds. Having some malfunctions here, apologies. But yeah, I know Cardiff City aren't going to produce the best quality, but Leeds had to beat them, didn't they? Unfortunately, at the end, Leeds were to concede 2 goals, which really, as you can imagine, annoyed me, because it's symptomatic of Leeds' season. It's symbolic, I should say, of Leeds' season. A pathetic goal conceded for Cardiff's first, which was Luke Ayling doing Luke Ayling things at defend, at the back, which, just I don't understand why he ever goes centre-back, but it is what it is. Childlike defending at the back, unfortunately. And then Cardiff being able to score another one right at the end, which means, Cardiff City haven't scored many goals this season. They managed to get 4 past Leeds United in 2 games. So brilliant performance from Leeds, really complete, some great performances there. I thought Rocker played really well, Adams was tenacious, and Verba I thought looked really good. Just the two disappointing aspects from me tonight was the 2 goals conceded sloppily at the end, which we just can't seem to get out of our game. I was really looking forward to a smashing, Bamford coming back, getting the goal, seeing Cine on the pitch again, and a clean sheet. Just a clean sheet, Leeds, please. And no, we concede 2 in the end. But, we've got to focus on the positives, and that's what I'm here to do today. So get your comments in the section below, everybody. Leeds being victorious. Hopefully it's going to galvanise us for the weekend, and I'm hoping that this isn't such a, it's not a serious injury for Max Verba. Obviously went off. I don't know if it was a quad injury or a calf injury, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Ollie says we won by 3 goals. It's a good day. Yep, 100%. Not said it's not a good day. We've scored 5 goals. Just said it was a little bit disappointing at the end, which, let's not get away from that fact. Thought Rodrigo was excellent. So many pluses. Fingers crossed Berber not injured. Nonso, best player since Ronaldo. I just think he's superb, isn't he? He's absolutely superb. What a player we've got on our hands there. Said it at the start when I first saw him come on the pitch. I said on this channel, I said he's so intelligent, he uses the ball so economically, so efficiently, which some of our players just don't do. Shout out to Jack Harrison, thought he had a good game tonight. We need to see that more consistently in the Premier League, Jack. Not just against teams like Cardiff. I thought he was excellent tonight. But this is what Willie Gnonto does. He just does it consistently. It can be against Villa. I think it could be against Man City, Liverpool, Cardiff, Burton Albion, whoever. He's just absolutely excellent. And I hope we can keep him. I really do, for a long period of time. But this guy is going to be generating some serious injuries, interest, not injuries, hopefully. Neville's already gassed him up, hasn't he? But yeah, Josh Taylor says Verba makes a huge difference in that defence. Josh, when you're comparing Verba to Luke Ayling, it's a massive difference, mate, clearly. Listen up, I've said for weeks, our players are still weak at the back. We'll look a bit dodgy. That is not down to Marsh. Believe me, that's still a problem. I think that what we know and what we've seen, Mark, from this entire season and what's symbolic of this season and what Rutter's been brought in for and what Sinisterra is going to aid and all this sort of stuff is the fact that Leeds will continue to concede goals. Whatever happens, we are not good enough at the back, whether or not that's system-based, whether or not it's individual-based, it's probably a combination of the two. We will continue to concede goals. So for me, going forward, this Leeds United team just has to outscore opponents, which is going to be difficult, but when you've got the firepower of Nonto, Sinisterra, Patrick Bamford, Rodrigo, Rutter, you're just going to have to do it. We're going to have to just outscore teams to stay in the division for me. But we do have a lot of firepower up front, and that is a massive bonus. I mentioned this the other day, and you saw it tonight. I thought we're really, I mentioned it before, efficient when it came to getting the ball in the midfield and picking the right pass. I thought we picked the right pass on more than one occasion. Willie should have had 4, as I mentioned at the start. Pat could have had 4 as well. It could have been 10 tonight. It really could. But as I say, just rounding it up, unfortunately, at the end, it is symbolic of Leeds United's season. It is the defensive errors, the lapses in concentration, unfortunately, at the end, which just put a tiny bit of a taint on it. Tiny bit of a taint for me, but taking that out of our minds, I should say. Sorry about that, guys. We've won the game 5-2, scored 5 goals. We've got Pat Bamford back on the score sheet. Sinisterra's back on the pitch. Nonto's got 2 and an assist. Harrison's got a couple of assists as well. It's all rosy, it's all positive, but let's hope we can transfer that into our Premier League campaign. Let's hope so, because if we can do that, fantastic. It's going to be a different task against Brentford. Obviously, Brentford, one of the informed teams in the Premier League at the minute. They'll be way much more efficient, under Leeds' press and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, it doesn't matter. We've got the. I was about to say we've got 3 points. I wish we had, but we've got the win today, which was massive because we've not got many wins under our belts this season. And I think confidence is going to be key, as loads of people are mentioning in the comment section below. Nobody talking about Jesse anymore. God, let's just enjoy the fact we've won a game. God, I told you so. But I told you so. Lot are out already. Cardiff, who can't score in the Championship, put 4 passes over 2 legs. Shocking. I can't deny that. Robert Pennell says, Jesse, time to go. I think it's not going to be judged on tonight, Robert. I think it's going to be judged on the weekend. Leeds can't lose at the weekend for me. We just can't lose. I think it's a must-win, to be honest with you. Confidence is one hell of a drug. Firpo did look decent, to be fair. I thought he did TikTok. Yeah, 100%. Passing was still sloppy, says JC, but can't be upset. It's a good result. Nonto is still storming. Bamford back amongst the goals. Cine back on the pitch, and Verba looked solid. Can't agree with that. I can't disagree with that, buddy. Tom Sang went past Firpo like Firpo even wasn't there, so poor in defending. I thought Firpo was all right, to be fair. I thought he had a decent game. Wayne says Greenwood looks to have lost a little confidence. To be honest, Wayne, I just don't think he's good enough. You look at that hospital ball he played to Verba, and that pretty much caused Verba's injury. It was one of the worst balls, but Verba had to go and get it, and it was that caused the injury. I think Greenwood's okay. I think he's very okay, but for people, I've seen online people to be suggesting he should be ahead of Mark Rocker. Wow. Not a chance. Not a chance. So yeah, I think it's obviously going to be the normal combination in midfield, not Greenwood for me. I swear Verba better not be out long term because these defenders are rubbish. Yeah, I think Verba brought a level of composure in the Cardiff game previously, and I thought he did today as well. I thought he looked really good, really good on the ball. Percentages were pretty high as well. I thought he was winning his individual battles, and Leeds just didn't concede with him at the back. So make of that what you will. And then Llorentis at the back with Ayling, and suddenly, Cardiff aren't really doing anything. Are they doing anything? Let's be honest. But we do look a little bit more susceptible, and mistakes again. Verba, the big thing that we've gained, and it's not been a big testing pool at the minute, but he's not making mistakes. And I know he's not played that many minutes, but he's not made mistakes. You get Luke Ayling on the pitch, there's a mistake. You normally get Llorente on the pitch, there's a mistake, and even Pascal Struijk at the minute, there's a mistake. So yeah, overall, really happy with how good we were up top. I thought there were some excellent passages of players. I thought the third goal was fantastic. Brilliant goal, brilliant finish by Nonso through the legs, but a really good team goal. Really nice Jesse Marsh football, playing through the thirds, great in transition, and we played it quite centrally. Now, me and Gabe were talking, did we think Leeds were a little bit wider today? I thought we were, to an extent. I thought we were playing with a little bit more width. I think Junior Firpo aids that. He does hug the touchline a little bit. I thought William Gnonto was hugging the touchline a little bit, giving Sang an absolute nightmare. And that was great to see. It wasn't all inverted, which I think gives Leeds a little bit more options. We're a little bit more fluid and dynamic, and I think we look a little bit more natural like that as well. So that was great to see. But yeah, I think, Leeds Yank, I wouldn't disagree. 2 goals were flukes. I presume that's Cardiff, but it doesn't really matter if the flukes. There's still goals that are conceded. Aronson looks lost, and I can't disagree with Leeds Yank there. I think Aronson's really struggling at the minute. He's really struggling. I think his level on the ball isn't great. I don't think he's good on the ball. We saw right at the end there where we could have gone and got a 6th, and it's a simple 5-yard pass to Jack Harrison. He overhits it, and I just think his decision making, staying on his feet a little bit more, needs to improve a little bit, because I've said to Gabe as well off air that his card's getting marked at the minute by English referees because he's always on the floor. And I'm not saying, that some of these decisions shouldn't be given to Brendan Aronson. I 100% think they should be, but he needs to start staying on his feet a little bit more. I think he's struggling at the minute, but 1-1 Palace, yes, that's great. That is great to see. I can't lie. Let me get my charger, everyone. Sorry guys, these are what happens in live streaming. Are we back? Are we good? We're good. Great. I look bright again. Aronson needs to beef himself up a little bit. Yeah, not beat himself up. Econ says, really enjoyed watching us tonight. Pray it gives us confidence going into Saturday. Yeah, I'd agree, Econ. I thought we were good. I'm happy with it. As I say, I'd have been coming on here with a big beaming smile on my face if we hadn't just conceded those 2 sloppy goals at the end. But it can't be perfect, can it? It really can't be. People who are asking when the debrief is, Gabe is actually over in England at the minute. So I met up with Gabe yesterday in Manchester. I think he's meeting up with Brown either tonight or tomorrow. So we've not been able to get a debrief going. So when Gabe is back in the States, a debrief will be out. So it's probably going to be next week. Conceding 2 goals at the end really does bug me. It's so scary how we concede so easily. Not so sensational. Amazing content as always, Connor. Thank you for your positive comment, James. Really appreciate that. Can't disagree with any of that, mate. Not so sensational. So yeah, keeping hold of him is going to be absolutely key. He's very much Rafinha, isn't he? And when I say Rafinha, I mentioned this at the start when some of you guys might not have been here, but the play's funneled on his side. They know who the man is. And plays funneled down his side, as it was all the time with Rafinha under Marcelo Bielsa and Jesse Marsch. So yeah, fantastic, brilliant player, and I think that we're going to start seeing him getting doubled up on. But that's great when we've got Sinisteri and you've got Rodrigo on fire, you've got Bamford, and this is all great, everyone. It's really positive that we've got options going forward. I'm just a little bit worried at the back. I am, because you're going to get better defences than Cardiff tonight, and you're going to get better teams naturally going forward in the Premier League. So we have to be better at the back, and I'd love Verba to be there. There's a lot of talk at the minute about the Portuguese, I think he's like an under 18 or under 19 international coming to Ellen Road, but obviously he's not going to be going straight into the first team. But yeah, that defence is still a worry to me. It really is. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. If we can outscore teams, fantastic. Rumour has it, says Jay, if you smash a like on this video, we'll smash Brentford on Sunday. Jay said it, everyone. If you're superstitious. As turd as our defences at the attacking options are exciting at the moment. I'd agree, Liam. I'd agree. It's a bit of bittersweet, isn't it? Shockingly bad defence, but a blistering attack. And I mean, listen, it's pure entertainment watching Leeds United, because every single game at Ellen Road, I think there's an average of about 4 or 5 goals at the minute. I think Lee Dixon or Sam Matterface was saying on ITV, 5 goals on average at Ellen Road, which is staggering. It's not good for the heart, but I guess you're going to get entertained. Another 7 at Ellen Road tonight, but there you go. Freddie Nottage says, do you believe that Marsch should go if we lose to Brentford on Sunday? Freddie, I'm not a massive fan of, wanting to say in, out, all this sort of stuff, but I don't even know if they've got someone lined up, mate. And that's not a reason that you should sack a manager. You should sack a manager based on the results that they've had and based on if you believe in a project going forward. And personally, I know there's loads of you. There's 700 of you near in the building right now. It'll be split right down the middle, presumably so. And maybe a lot of you have been influenced by the Cardiff result tonight, which is fantastic. It means nothing to me if we win tonight and then lose at the weekend. It means absolutely nothing, because I'd have rather lost tonight and won at the weekend, you know. And so when you're looking at it, when you put it into context, yes, if we are to lose to Brentford at the weekend, I think he should go. Yeah, 100%. And that's difficult to say after tonight. Of course it is, because it's been a brilliant performance. It's been free flowing. It's been excellent attacking football. But this needs to be more consistent. And I think we all know that. I think the rational Leeds fan understands that these performances have to be more consistent. But they can't just be performances. They have to be results. I think what Marsh is trying to say at the minute is these performances will turn into results, which is a completely correct thing to think. But with our record in the past 20 odd games, we need to start seeing numerical results. We need to start seeing Leeds move away from that pack with the amount of money we've spent. We have to move away from it. So yes, the pressure, and Jesse, you could see it tonight with his demeanour. He seemed quite relaxed, quite serious. And I think we've seen that in the last couple of weeks, because he'll know what's been said about him, 100%. He'll know what's been said. I think he's spoken about in press conferences as well. But yeah, he can't lose to Brentford. Brentford's a must-win for me. And if we're not looking at Brentford as a must-win, we're not looking at West Ham as a must-win, we're not looking at Fulham as a must-win, what games are we looking at as must-wins at Ellen Road? You know, what games are we? Everton wasn't a must-win earlier on in the season at Ellen Road. We need to start winning some of these games at home, because Ellen Road needs to be a fortress. Your home games are where you stay up. You pick points up away from home here and there, but your home games are imperative. They're essential. So yeah, he has to win for me. That's my thoughts. Yeah, a little bit too instant. It's 5-2, mate. I know, I got excited. I came on, I was like, 5-1, okay. They've scored at the end, but then my phone started to buzz and it's 5-2. I'm like, oh. But yeah, and another question would be, who would I replace Jesse with? And it's not my prerogative to give you guys an answer on that. I'm just basing it on if I think Jesse Marsh is the right man for the job or not. You should never say to yourself that we shouldn't ever get rid of a manager because we have no one in line to come in. That's not a reason to keep a manager on. That's a bad mindset to have, trust me. It really is. You get rid of a manager because you need to get rid of a manager. It's not on who's coming in. You trust the board for that stuff. That's what they get paid millions and millions of pounds per year to do. Marsh just admitted he underestimated the quality of Nonto. I think we all did, to be fair. Kai says the most suitable formation is a 4-2-2. Yeah, I can't deny that. I can't help but feel that the Rutter sign is very much indicate that Marsh will stay at the club. He suits the 4-2-2 system and double it with Rodrigo. Rutter is not a lone striker. Listen, let's hope. I hope Marsh turns it around. I hope he does. I hope Marsh turns it around. And tonight is a springboard, because we're all Leeds fans. We want Leeds to do well. I don't know why you'd want Leeds to fail because of Jesse Marsh. We want Jesse to do well. We want Leeds to do well. We all want to come in here and talk about results like tonight more consistently. That's what I want to do anyway. I don't want to, I don't want to come in here and talk about Leeds losing and managerial sackings and this, that, and the other. I really don't. But unfortunately, the question is at my door right now, on my 3 doors. What a performance from Tom Sang for us tonight. Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He absolutely loves it. I mean, he's injured Somerville. He tried to get Nonto. I think he had a bit of a hit as well on Christensen in the box. He was on a bit of a siege tonight, wasn't he? Jamie Dixon says tonight shows what we're capable of. It's always the defending that lets us down. Sort that out and we'd be dangerous. Need to follow it up at the weekend. Yep, Jamie, spot on there, mate. Spot on. The Doe 19 says all of our upcoming games are a must-win. Don't think Jesse will turn this around. Sure, tonight was a good game, but we need a new manager. No defensive tactics at all. Peace from Sweden. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Really appreciate that. I can't. It is a cup game. It's a great cup game, but and I know we don't want to talk about this. I know we want to talk about, and we have done it at the start of the video, of course we have, but the realism of it is, unfortunately, we have to beat Brentford. It doesn't matter what's happened tonight. Of course it does, because we're in the next stage of the Cup, but if we don't follow this up, nothing's changed, okay? Nothing has changed. You got players coming back, you got Cine coming back, you got Bamford coming back, who clearly aid, performances and stuff like that. But, I mean, even just the decision tonight to put Ayling on at centre back, just daft little things like that. You know, Ayling at centre back. When has that been a thing that has worked? You know, I know for Bielsa, maybe for about 2 or 3 months it worked, but I thought Ayling was always better as in a back three when we played him there. But yeah, not for me. It's never worked as centre back. So yeah, even him coming on as a bit of a contingency plan is never an option for me. But listen, Jesse knows. He'll know. There's been a lot of rumour at the minute that there is a decision that is going to be made on Sunday about Jesse Marsch. So I guess we've just got to watch this space as fans. There's nothing we can do about it. We can give our opinions, but it is what it is, isn't it? That's what football's all about. You should have brought Stoichkon. I know he's been a bit... Yeah, I mean, Demar, that's what I was saying. I was saying to a couple of mates watching the game, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But I don't think any of us would have brought Ayling on in that situation. Top result against a very poor Cardiff side. To be fair, Ayling going centre-back killed us. He's no centre-back, he's an attacking full-back. Yeah, and I guess that's where he's essentially been playing when he's been coming on. A lot of Leeds fans have been giving him a lot of plaudits. Gabe's in the building. Cardiff are one of the worst sides I've seen in a while. Happy with the result, but oof, yeah. 100%. Simon, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate your donation. That goes straight into the channel. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. This game reminds me of Leeds under Bielsa in 2021. Yeah, we don't ever seem to have just like a defensive manager. I was mentioning this on the stream the other day. There's never really any defensive solidarity with any Leeds manager, really. And any Leeds manager, really, it just includes Bielsa and Jesse Marsch, doesn't it? It's just hell for leather football, attacking, fluidity, and who cares what happens at the back. But I think in the Premier League you kind of have to care what happens at the back. There's a lot of pressure on the front men. Watching tonight, the ball goes in midfield and I see Rasmus and Firpo pelting up the wing. If the pass is cut out, we get manned, need to calm down a bit. Yeah, Adrian, that's a really good observation. You did see that a lot tonight, and I guess that comes with a little bit of expansion. Leeds playing with maybe a little bit more width, which me and Gabe were talking about off air. But it's the overlap thing again, isn't it? You know, we are seeing a little bit more of that. I used to call out Jesse last season. I was like, why are we not seeing any overlaps? But now there is constant overlap. So it's like the winger has the ball. You saw Firpo do it multiple times, and you have to have the right players in there. And I think Firpo is a very good attacking left back. I say very good attacking left back. And Rasmus likes to get forward as well. So yeah, you're quite right. If the efficiency isn't good, if the passing accuracy isn't efficient enough in those final thirds when those two are bombing on, Leeds are exposed. And I think that's what we've seen multiple times this season. Freddie says, yeah, it looks like we're going to sign Diogo Montero. Looks like a talented young defender. Yeah, it looks like that's happening, mate. I don't think he's going to be coming into the first team. It looks like it's a development signing. Yeah. We need George Graham. Get him back. Laura says, any news on Onahi? I think he'd electrify the midfield and take some pressure off the back line, which is clearly struggling. Nothing yet, mate. Nothing yet. Looks like he's deciding between Napoli and Leeds United, but I think Napoli are willing to let him stay at Angers, which is, which is something that I think Angers are looking for. Let's have a look. Caught a live stream finally. Good result, but the same square peg round. To that, actually bringing on a centre-back for a centre-back. Look, we know Pascal's been poor. Of course he's been poor, but you're having Pascal over Luke, aren't you? At centre-back any day of the week. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. It's just the mic on a few problems with it at the minute. Connor, I know it's not related to the game, but what did you think of all the noises on the Wolves vs Liverpool broadcast? I thought it was hilarious, mate. It's funny, isn't it? Because the BBC are obviously so straight and narrow. It's fantastic when you hear stuff like that. Neville played up to it, to be fair. Michael says, hi Connor, it looks like we've got to play our joker and play to our attacker's strengths. Don't worry about conceding. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be, mate. I think that's what's going to keep us up. It's just about outscoring the opposition. Do I think that's sustainable? Not really, because you've got, as I keep mentioning, there's so much pressure on your attacking players to deliver consistently. And if you just literally, like we are, I mean, it's another 2 goals conceded tonight. Look at the amount of games Leeds have conceded 2 goals in, everybody. It's pretty much, it feels like every single game we've conceded 2 goals. You know, Cardiff last time, West Ham, Aston Villa, Cardiff tonight. It's every week we're conceding 2 goals. Newcastle was the anomaly, of course. Tottenham not long ago, yeah. It just feels all the time we are conceding 2 goals. And like I said, there's just a lot of pressure, a lot of pressure to put on your attacking outlets. Tobes Laroni says, brilliant management from Jesse to get Ayling in to concede 2 goals. Now we don't have to pay the clean sheet bonus to any of our defenders. They've not had that all season, have they, to be fair? Haven't even mentioned Christ Somerville tonight, which shows the best attacking strength we've had in years. Yeah, Trav, you bang on, mate. Our defence is as reliable as your mic on this stream. This mic's a very good one, mate, but it's dropped and the wire's knackered, which is a nightmare. I'm streaming too much. White Rose says Nonto looks like the same level of transfer business as Rafinha. The amount we paid for the quality we've got is unbelievable. Yeah, I mean he's still a teenager and he cost us 4 million from FC Zurich. I just love to be in a position where we can keep hold of him, you know. And I know that's not realistic. I get that. But isn't football just a shitter sometimes? Like, you know, some of the big boys just come knocking, slap 30 million on the table. And I know that's economics. I get it. Of course I do. But finding a diamond in the rough like Willie Gnonto it's so hard, isn't it? So, yeah, let's hope we can keep hold of him and enjoy it for a while. Wan's in the building. Great win tonight from your favourite journalist. Shout out, Ash. Yeah, well done, mate. A bit of Evo stick will sort your mate out, Connor. Yeah, Brendan T says Mele's getting suspect. He's never saved a penalty in normal time for his year. Yeah, the penalty shout's a really good one, Brendan. And what I would say is, you know, I think he's kept in a lot of his game this season. And shot stopping wise, he's excellent. Kicking, he's all right, but he does have those moments. You know, we saw for the offside goal. You know, Cardiff had the ball in the back of the net 3 times tonight. You know, that's something we have to consider as well. Poor, shocking defending for that conceded goal that was offside as well. All the player was interfering with play. But I'd completely agree. I think he's got his moments. But the thing is, Brendan, what are we expecting as a Leeds team? Are we expecting a goalkeeper with very good kicking, very good shot stopping, very good decision making, very good concentration, focus, all the attributes you need for a top keeper? Are we going to have that at Leeds United when we are fighting a relegation? You know, when we are in a relegation scrap in 2 consecutive seasons, we're not. We're going to have a keeper with some vulnerabilities because that's the standard of player that we can attract, you know, that we can have in our side without it getting poached from the bigger clubs, you know. So I wouldn't expect Mele to be the full round package. I wouldn't, because we're not in the position to have players like that, unfortunately. Spartan Hippie says, I do get your concerns, Connor, but the game went to plan as best it could, but we can't help silly individual mistakes. How long have we heard that for, mate? Overall, that was a top performance, and if we will play like that, we'll be okay. I love your positivity, mate. I hope you're right, 100%. Harrison is a must start. Interesting, says The Rock. Hey, mate, The Rock. Threw balls on fire, keep Harrison on the bench. Yeah, 100. I guess you've got to take into consideration Sinistera, who's back now. Tenacious D, Tenacious G, I'll get yours on later, mate. Can Sinistera play in the middle? Nonso, Cine and Cry would be electric. Yeah, it really would be, mate. It really would be. It'd be fast, that, wouldn't it? Is that how we judge keepers now, on whether they can save a penalty, really? I think a lot of people do judge it on that, mate. Yeah. It's definitely a string to the bow, isn't it? Spencer says, who are the back 4 for you over the weekend if Verba is healthy? I would go for... I'd go Pascal at left back. Although, you know... Furpo. I don't know, Furpo gives you a lot more going forward, doesn't he? But it's just, God, it's just if we are just looking to outscore Brentford, which I think we will, so would you just put Furpo in there anyway? He's better than Strout going forward, isn't he? So I'd probably go Melier, obviously, just the back 4. I'd probably go... God, it's tough. If he's fit, I've got to put Strauch in there. I'd probably go Strauch, Cooper, Verba, and Christensen, but that's 3 left footers. So it's not really a great balance, especially if we're getting pressed. Yeah, don't know, it's a tough one. It really is. It's a big decision, that, isn't it? Not seeing much praise for Orta in signing Bamford, Nonto and Rodrigo. Fair enough. I'll go Ayling, UNTQ. Oh, Jesus, Ryan. God, can't agree with you there, mate. Stuart Marsden said, is it me or is Aronson a feather constantly? I'd agree with you, Stuart. He needs to he needs to stay on his feet a little bit more. I know it's a slight thing, but he needs to get in the gym a little bit more. I think the Premier League refs, I said it earlier on in the stream, they've marked his card and he's not going to get away with it. He's really not. And there are some instances where you just think, just be a little bit stronger there, hold the ball, knock it on. And it's just not really working for him at the minute. I said earlier on, it's not just about his strength as well. I think his passing efficiency is just a little bit off at the minute. I think it's always been off, to be honest. I don't think he's got his pass selection and accuracy is always of the highest level. And that's something he needs to develop on. He's only a young lad. And I see Bam Bam back scoring goals. Sean, you're right. Yeah, 2 excellent finishes. First one was sublime. Second one was excellent. Two touches and finishing. I've always said about Bamford. I think I've said once on the stream before. Someone said that I'd said he was finished. I don't think I've ever used those words. I might have done, but the reason I say that is it's not because I don't think Bamford's got ability. It's not because I don't think Bamford could do damage in the Premier League. It's his dependability and reliability. If he can stay fit for the remainder of the season and score 10 goals, absolutely fantastic. And then, you're looking around and you're saying, brilliant, look at that, And then he stays fit for a large part of next season. But this is the problem with Pat. He comes back and he has bursts and then he's out for, best part of 4 or 5 months. Let's be right, guys. So I'm not going to jump the gun with Paddy yet. I'm going to say good for tonight. Let's see if he can do it against Brentford. Let's see if he can do it against Forest coming up, Everton, Man United. If he can do it in those games and he can stay fit and he can, and he's reliable, excellent, absolutely excellent. And that's where I'd be really excited. And we can really chat about Patrick Bamford being back, and that's what we all want, of course. Bamford is a confidence player and everyone knows that, and when he scores he's usually on it most of all games. I think service crew, the only issue is I think there's a lot of our players like that who are confidence based, and if there's a low ebb in the camp, which hopefully there won't be after tonight, which is a great sign, when there's a lot of them like that, that's a bit of a problem. You never saw that with Rafinha. I don't think Nonto's a confidence player anyway either. I think it's just swagger. It's like, I'm good enough. I think Somerville's a little bit like that. I really do. I think Somerville's in that bracket, and Sinistera, not confidence players. We're just that good. Got a bit of swagger and arrogance, and that's why when people are always, when we talk about transfer and they're like, oh no, it wouldn't fit in at Leeds. He's too arrogant. It's like, I want arrogant players. I want players with a bit of swag, with a bit of give me the ball and I'll produce something. Because that's what Rafinha was all about. And I think we have got players like that in the side now. But yeah, there's a lot of confidence-based players. I think Jack Harrison is the epitome of that. Ayling's probably another one. Bamford mended now. I hope you're right, Ian. Aronson says Pat says Aronson, there's a good player in there. He's too lightweight and trying everything 100 mile per hour at the moment. I mean, Lee Dixon said it as well. Lee Dixon just said sometimes he needs to slow down and get the passing right. And I think we mentioned that on the debrief about 4 or 5 months ago. It's just he's so frantic at times that he's just, his pass selection's a little bit off. I'd like to see him get a few more goals as well. Ben says, good win, but let's be honest, it was the least we expected. Cardiff are so poor, still conceded 2. The board can't rest on their laurels. CM needed. Yep. Spot on, mate. I mean, Cardiff, 21st in the league, not got a manager. I think they mentioned tonight that they've not scored there's been a period of time this season where they've not scored in 12 games or something like that. Which is unbelievable. The fact they've scored 4 against Leeds, but there's an argument it should have been 5 if that goal, if that goal wasn't disallowed. So yeah, there's problems at Leeds. There is problems at Leeds, but tonight hopefully it's going to give us all a little bit of a confidence boost. The players a confidence boost. Rich Silverwood says, a great game, Connor. Watched at work from Christchurch, New Zealand. Fantastic. Hope you're doing well, mate. Snoop Hoggy White says, Connor, are you on the landing? One false move and you'll be heading down the stairs. No, mate, I'm not. I'm in a flat. Don't worry. Nothing on Verba's injury yet. Right, guys, we're going to leave it there. If you want to go back and watch the full stream, you can. We've been going for about 45 minutes. There's 950 of you in the building. Make sure I can get about 900 likes on here. I'll be back with the rumour mill bright and early tomorrow morning, but we'll be discussing everything Leeds United. I hope you've enjoyed the content, everyone. As I say, like the video before you go. It's all free. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. That's free. Have a good one, everyone, and we'll see you in a bit. Cheers.